Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about the Chinese period drama 九霄寒夜暖, Warm on a Cold Night. This is a 36-episode period drama that airs on the platform iQIYI, directed by the main director Li Huizhu plus 3 more directors, written by 4 different scriptwriters, supposedly based on a manga/anime called The Bride of the Wolf Prince, but then somehow I cannot find any information about this anime or manga. Let's just take it as an original script. It is led by Li Yitong, Bi Wenjun, and shot from May 2021 to September. Right now, I have watched 22 episodes of this drama. I will give it a rating between goldmine/landmine and 1 gold mine. I know some people like this drama. I've seen your comments under my other videos on my channel. If you know you're not gonna be very happy about hearing other people not saying the best thing about it, don't watch this video. Now, as usual, let me introduce you to the story and then tell you why I give it such a rating. This is a fictional period setting drama. And it's set in a kingdom where it's run by, let's say, equivalent to human species. And then there's another kingdom that's to the north of it that's run by people that you can call them semi-people, semi-animals. They can turn into animals, they have stronger 5 senses. And these two countries' relationships is very tricky. Sometimes they're at war, sometimes they're collaborating, but there's always that level of, I'm not quite sure about your intention. In this setting, in the capital city of the human-running kingdom, we have our female lead character played by Li Yitong, who works as a constable. She's a clever girl who is very good at doing detective work. She has this chronic problem since she was a kid, that she faints, that she often feels very cold. Even though the mother is a doctor, she hasn't figured out how to save her daughter. Then our male lead character, played by Bi Wenjun, is the prince of the northern semi-animal species kingdom, and he enters the human kingdom capital undercover because he wants to investigate a case and a missing friend. And for some unknown magical reason, when our female lead get in contact with the male lead skin on skin, she can draw power almost like a battery from the guy, and they're gonna fall in love and they're gonna break some of the cases that goes on in this human kingdom world while sorting out the relationship between the two kingdom powers. Now let's go to the good and bad and worth watching and meh part of this drama. On the positive end, number 1, this is overall production quality wise a pretty watchable period drama. I have very little to complain about the overall aesthetics and style of this drama. It doesn't have very terrible color grading and lighting like many crappy Youku dramas. This is more iQIYI style, more gritty, more texture, not so much of a skin smoothing and whitening of skin and weird, bright, offensive lighting at night. To make a simple comparison, it will look more like Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty instead of Junjiulin. So I definitely put it on the positive end of things. The second thing, if you are a fan of Li Yitong, Bi Wenjun, because they are the 2 people who have most screen time, okay? If you're a fan of either of them, then this drama probably would be a quite enjoyable watch because both of them are doing a good enough job and they don't look weird. They don't have very embarrassing, tropey, over-the-top weird plot like many crappy period romantic Chinese dramas would have that would actually affect your impression of the actors and actresses who are playing those roles. To me, those are the positive points, not a lot and not very strongly worth selling the drama on. So now let's go to the part where it just rates this drama down for me for those reasons. In no particular order, number 1 is a point that may not really mean anything to a lot of international audiences, but just because in recent couple of years the whole movement of, for example, Hanfu and more awareness of Chinese period dramaland being filled with things that are very under-researched and not really Chinese. So this drama would contain basically a lot of elements that you can clearly see that are Japanese. Certain pattern on people's clothing, even the hairpin, which are very classic Japanese thing that never really happened in Chinese history. Technically speaking, it does not matter because it's all fictional. But then it's a Chinese drama, everybody speaks Chinese, the language that's used is Chinese, the people write Chinese. And then a lot lot of other things in this drama are Chinese. This drama is not very popular in China right now. Its ratings or its viewing counts are not very high. Had this drama been really popular, people are gonna stare at you with magnifying glass, and their patterns, their clothing, their hat, their weird things that's in shot, that's totally Japanese, is gonna get pulled out and then get... Last year, the 星汉灿烂 Love Like Galaxy drama, due to that the main characters having very clear kimono elements on their clothing, that's definitely not Chinese, they actually had to go post-production it out before they can air it because it got caught. And they already started a huge boycotting thing before the drama even went live. The lucky thing for Warm on Cold Night is it's not big and nobody really cares about it that much. The second thing that heavily impacts my enjoyment of this drama is dubbing. And I will not go into too much detail now because I've complained about that in every drama when I don't like its dubbing. The worst part for this drama is the male lead is dubbed by Wang Baoshun, the same dubbing actor who did Dongfang Qingcang in Fairy and Devil last year. Imagine my pain. Then the third point, although I would use one actress as example of what I'm about to say, but I feel most of this blame would rest on the director. I'm going to use Li Yitong's performance in this drama as an example. She's been around for a long time. She's played many roles, and I've seen a lot of her performance. I feel her performance in this drama is definitely not her best, and I feel a lot of that blame would be resting on the director. She in this drama is very overacting. The type of too aware that there's a camera looking at her and she has to perform to an audience that is in the drama setting not really there. For example, if she's in a space, definitely nobody hiding in a corner, she doesn't need to be super secretive conveying information about detective work. In a realistic environment, you know you're in private space. You would just talk to the person normally. Maybe you wouldn't be shouting, but you certainly wouldn't be talking like... But she would be talking like that as if somebody is listening over, but there isn't anyone. She's clearly doing it because she knows it's a drama and she wants the audiences to know that I'm being secretive. Another example, when she opens a secret passageway of a wardrobe that leads into the room of a secret space tunnel, the way that facial expression goes is so over the top. Imagine if you're in her shoes and when you see that, you maybe shocked a bit, like your eye opens wide, but maybe that's it. You know, like normal people wouldn't go as if she knows there's a camera looking at her and she has to act that so that the audience gets she's really surprised. And again, it's a type of acting that does not make sense for the character in the environment, but it's clearly telling the audiences I am doing this. And she has done other roles that never acts like that in that style. So I feel it's the director's fault if they're seeing this type of acting, which is very 套路. You know, the type of when you have a nightmare, you would jump from your bed and wake up like sitting up instead of just open your eyes. Because normally, think about how you have a nightmare. Hardly anybody just jumps up from their bed. But in dramaland, particularly period dramaland, you often see Chinese actors do that because it has become a tradition. Somehow you have to do that and then everybody get it. It's a nightmare, otherwise they won't. But it's wrong. It doesn't actually make sense for the human to do that in the environment. All of her acting in this drama are in the very obvious way that it just reads very fake. And the worst part is when she contrasts with a male lead who is a much less experienced actor, who is not a professional actor, because he's not so experienced. He doesn't have that much of a 套路, the already played out habits, and they have a different style of acting. He is less expressive and somehow making it feel more realistic. So when they act together, it's really odd. And this is definitely the director's fault, because that's your job to sit there and watch and see if it's a coherent thing. Who needs to get adjusted, who needs to get more excited or tuned down. That's just my opinion, okay? And if you don't agree, that's totally fine. I have nothing against her. I'm just telling you about this specific drama's role and its performance. The last point on the negative end, and the most important one, is as a detective story, it's boring. Yes, it's a period romantic story, but then it's done in the structure of two people coming together, forming a team, solving cases, along the way, develop their personal relationship line. Haven't we seen that story played out a million times? Imperial Coroner, for example. In a way, Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty as well. One of the most important things about this type of drama is if you want to make everything valid, your romantic relationship development valid, then you have to make all the cases also well written, exciting. Or the challenges while they're solving the case will become the reason why they also form very tight personal relationship at the end of the story. If you cannot write a case as well, then it doesn't work. And for this drama, it doesn't work. The cases are long, dragged out, having no center. There's no exciting twist, no brain game. I've watched 22 episodes, and if you ask me to recall first case, what is it, and who is the bad guy, and why they do it, I have to sit down and think really hard to tell you. It doesn't come to me very quickly. The only good case so far that I can give it a little bit positive rating is the one with the guest starring actor Li Yan, who was the cat in Guardian. 大庆. Ever since Guardian, I've been keeping an eye on his work. In this drama, he plays one of the case's unit leading role. His sad love story with his 小师妹 is the best part of this drama so far. Actually, in this drama, the leading couple's romantic line is very boring, and the best romantic and can hit you at some level line happened at this unit story, this case of the painters. The way it's told on camera is also beautiful. It's well acted, and the two people look really paired up and nicely. So by the point that case happened and wrapped, I feel like, oh, okay, so I finally see one thing that can be praised about this drama. So adding on to this last point, along with the detective stories not being very nice, it is also the romantic main line is very mediocrely written. And the girl touches the guy, and not just touching him, but has to like actually touch the skin to draw power from the guy and feel good. And because of that, she is chasing after him and just doesn't want to let him go because he's her biological battery. That whole setup is just so hard. It's just jammed in there so that the two leads have to have that skinship, right? And then develop personal romantic relationship, attachment. It doesn't do anything else. It only serves that forced intimacy. So at the core of it, it is a very mediocre script that because of on the writing level, it's very... Therefore, whoever is doing it is not gonna make a miracle out of it. If you look at all the dramas that have performed really well in the past, getting a lot of positive responses and get it big and get popular, they may each have very lucky timing, extra factors that are beyond the script, such as suddenly a super well casted actor, great luck. But then they would also have a good enough script to support that. So condition-wise, it's absolutely required to have a good script to make a drama successful. At the end of this video, 九霄寒夜暖, Warm on a Cold Night, to me is a very meh drama. Unless you have reasons other than watching a drama for its storytelling quality and fun that it can generate, I'd suggest to skip this one. I probably would not follow through this drama to the end. I think 22 episodes are enough. I hope this is useful for you to decide whether you should test this drama out. Thank you for watching Up New X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.